Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Well, I have not posted any videos on this channel for a very long time, all because I was dead busy with some other stuffs. But now I have decided to revamp this channel once more, and so what could be better than starting this channel once more with the story of my own life. And by now you must have already realized that what I am going to speak from the thumbnail, because the thumbnail screams, shouts what my today's topic is gonna be. Yes, I'm going to share with you how I improved my spoken English skill, my journey through English. Anyway, to begin with, I was a student of convent school. You can understand from the very name itself that it was an English medium ICSE affiliated school. And since the very beginning of my life, I was privileged to go to an English medium school. So having come from a very humble background, my parents let me go to an English medium school. And to be very honest, I was really good with my write-ups. And once you go to an English medium school, it is expected out of you to be very good with your fluency, with very good with English. Means like people take you for granted that even if you're not very good with other subjects, but you are good with English because you have been learning a lot, have been always put in the environment, put in situations where the commanding language itself is English, the language of instruction of the talking mode is English. So it was very significant for a student from an English medium to come out speaking English fluently. So it was expected out of me as usual. And I would say that, to be very honest, I was very good with my writing skill because I was obsessed with reading books. And when you read books, then the vocabularies, the phrases, they involuntarily get registered in your memory, they get stored in your subconscious mind, and a dictionary gets built up in your mind. And whenever I used to sit down to write, words would like flow out of that dictionary spontaneously without any effort. And I was always appreciated for my writer from my teachers, from everyone else. So this was my story when I just started my life in an English medium school till class 10. I was really very good with my writing skill. And when it came to spoken English, I didn't bother about much, because those days we used to speak with our friends in native language, because native language is always considered to be very informal. And having come from an English medium, we were continuously told, constantly told by our teachers, speak in English, speak in English. You're not gonna switch over to your mother tongue or your native language. You're not gonna do that. You have to only speak in English. But who cared? हमें तो सिर्फ बात करनी थी अपने दोस्तों से. And who talks with friends in English? Yeah, after all, we are Indians. So that was my case as well. So till class 10, everything was going very nice, very fair, and I didn't bother about anything. But when I went to class 11th, I had to change my school. Now from an English medium ICSE board, I went to another English medium, and this time it was a CBSE board with a complete different environment. The students studying in that school were very different from the students who were in convent school. They were not disciplined as them. Then they came from different backgrounds, which also differed from my background. The way I was raised up, the way I was shown the world by my parents, that was very different from them. So that environment had some bullies who were into like body shaming others, and I was one of those unfortunate girls who was subjected to body shaming by those bullies. So when I went to class 11th, I was shocked because I wasn't prepared for all these things. Till class 10, no one actually told anything to me about how I looked, and if I have any um, flaws in me, I was never told about that. And I was pretty happy, pretty confident in my skin. But when I went to class 11, I was like constantly ragged in a very worse manner. I was always put to body shaming. And then I started, getting the validation from people around me. I would go and ask them that, is it true that really I look this way? Is it true that really I don't fit the average look of a girl with slim waist? And so it would like make me cry out every day. I would sit and cry in the class instead of focusing in my studies and my grades. I was it has totally taken a toll over me. And the girls, or the boys who are still under this body shaming issue, please, you can relate with me. I know that I can understand. Even if you are going through all these things, please listen to my story, and if possible, the way I have bounced back, please try that. Okay. I know it was not easy for me either, because initially I was like laid back. I felt like, I'm good for nothing, I'm a worthless person, and I deserve. I deserve all these things. And the worst part was I couldn't open up about these things to my parents, to my loved ones, to my friends as well. I would just be so introvert and had ensconced myself within me. And I would never speak up. Okay, I would never stand up for myself. And I was also ashamed of going and telling all these things to my teacher. So I never intimated these things to any of my closed ones, which was the greatest mistake that I have done. And that actually provided impetus to these bullies. When you are vulnerable and gullible, these bullies, they gain grounds. They get the uh, push from behind, that yes, this girl can be bullied further, okay, till the point she breaks down. And that became a regular thing for me. I couldn't stay focused in my study. Even back home, I would just close the door within the confine of my room. I would just cry very silently without letting my parents know what I was going through. And everything would come in front of my eyes as visualization. The way those bullies would talk to me, would use slangs, the way they would look at me, everything would haunt me. And that actually, waned my confidence. I was left with no confidence. I could feel my limbs, my arms becoming weak. I couldn't even stand on my feet properly. And going to school, it was a horrible thing. Miss, early in the morning, my mother would wake me up, shake me off. I didn't have any excuse also. So I had to like get ready and go to school reluctantly, knowing that the moment I would step into the school, all I have to face is those bullies. And this went on for 2 years. So I did not fare well in my class 12 exam. There were only two subjects which never took any effort from me, and one was physics and the other was maths. These two subjects came out as a savior. They rescued me, from making my grades fall to the abyss. So they rescued me. I really scored well, not very good, but I scored in an average because of those two subjects. And I still salute that, somewhere, due to the deep passion I had for those two subjects never ditched me in my life. Then, by God's grace, it was time for me to move on. My parents got me shifted to a new city. Well, it's my hometown, it's Kolkata, but having lived in a different place, in a different town, since the beginning of my childhood, Kolkata was a new city for me. So when I came to the city, here I have got so many relatives, and my relatives were so cooperative, and everyone was loving me. And for a time being, no, it was like the bad, the worst nightmarish memories that I have collected over these 2 years were like, waning away a bit. But it had taken a toll on me, so it took a lot more to actually overcome those. So then my parents, my relatives gave me the freedom of choosing my subject, my the what major I am gonna do in the university. Then the college, I was allowed to choose. So I chose physics as my major at the university, and I chose my college. And this time I was very careful while choosing the college. I told that I'm not gonna go to any co-ed college because I had a difficult experience. Well, I didn't explain my parents or my relatives what the actual thing was all about, but deep down I knew that I have done bad in my grades because of the situation. Now, having said this, physics was my dream subject, and I was very passionate about taking up a career in my life in physics. So I knew very well if I do bad with my grades, then it's me who is going to suffer in the career as well. So I was not in a place to take risk at the cost of my career or at the cost of my passion for physics. So I thought it's best to be in a women's college than going to a co-ed college. Anyway, so I got my name enrolled in one of the very good colleges of Kolkata. Again, thanks to those two subjects which came as a savior to me. Otherwise, my grades would have like fallen into drains, I would rather say, because no other subject was there to help me out. These two subjects asked the least from me, because all I could do was cry and study. That was my fate for in those, in the late 2000. Anyway, sorry, in the early 2000, not late. Late is now. Actually, when you speak something you have experienced, it's little overwhelming, but I can assure you that I have completely healed from that situation. I've completely come out of the trauma. I've made peace with the time. I am no more in touch with those bullies. They have tried to be in touch with me through Facebook, through Instagram, but when I make peace with something, means I have forgotten that, I have forgiven them, and I just don't want their shadows in my life. I just don't want to validate my point. I don't need to substantiate myself anymore that this was what I was not, and you bullied me, you must be sorry for that. I don't need anything from them. I have just left them the way they were and wherever they belong to. I have not tried to even know whether they have changed, whether they have mend their ways or not. Well, this is not in my mission. My mission is to just upgrade myself, carry myself forward, which I'm doing. Okay, now my actual story comes, what happened to my English. Well, when I came to Kolkata, and I got a very good legion of friends, and I was like leveraged even to speak in Hindi because I was not very fluent in Bengali as well. It being my mother tongue, but Kolkata is a different place, is a place of literature, art, and it's a land of poets, it's a land of singers. So everywhere you look around is Bengali, and beautiful Bengali, enriched Bengali. So first of all, I thought I would just grab this language, and then eventually, gradually, over the years, it happened to me. But then one day, one of my friend remarked, actually in a very humble manner, she pointed out that you come from an English medium background, which is very good. You don't have any attitude, which is the best part. But what I don't like about you is, why don't you strike up a conversation in English with even those people who try to speak in English with you? You always end up speaking in Bengali. So I didn't have the answer for that, because really I was curious to know what has happened to me. And I knew exactly where the problem lies, because I had lost confidence. I was blabbering, I was like fathoming what words I would use, what phrases to use, because over the years, due to lack of practice and due to the lack of confidence, the fear that had gripped me had totally given a back seat to my spoken English skill. So then I came back home, and I slept over it. I just thought over it for a while, that what am I gonna do to revamp it? because it was important for me to refurbish my spoken English skill. How long am I going to stay in that arena, which is no more with me? That time frame has gone, the time phase is gone. I'm a new person, I'm a brand new person with a lot of confidence in me, and I have also healed myself, but still this factor remains with me that I haven't yet uh, refurbished my spoken English skills. So this is gonna be the last thing that I'm gonna do and end this chapter for once and for all. So then I started looking for those YouTube videos where there are many YouTubers who come out with different tricks, different techniques to improve your spoken English skill. And most of these techniques I had already applied in my life. But in my case, it was a little different. I became nervous. Okay, I was in a shock when it came to spoken English because I had abruptly stopped speaking in English. I had abruptly stopped speaking in anything. I was so introvert. So nothing was coming out of me. Then I thought one day that when I was a child and I was given any poem or any passage to recite in front of the whole assembly or a whole group of people, then how did I do it? I used to prepare at home just the night before my performance. I would stand in front of the mirror, look into my eyes, and would just recite those lines that I have memorized. Miss, I used to mug up those lines as a child and then stand and look into the eyes of my own reflection and talk to myself. That is how actually I performed. So I thought, let me just practice that. Let me see, because it worked for me. It really worked for me. And I thought, let me just try out this trick and see if it's still working for me or not. And then, as I told you, I was very good with my writing skills, so I thought, let me pick out a topic. What topic should I pick up? Now this became a challenge for me, because before you speak, before you start thinking, you must have clarity of thoughts. If you are not sure of what the topic is all about, if you don't know what you're going to speak, then you will just end up speaking nonsense and end up writing verbiage as well. So I thought the best way to pick up a topic is whatever is going in my life right now. So I took a topic like since morning, what I have been doing till now. So this was my topic, and I just immediately jotted down few lines on the topic and read those lines like 3 or 4 times, or like more than 4 times also at some point of time. And then I stood in front of the mirror and started speaking to myself, looking into the eyes of my reflection, being very confident, and started. So I kept on practicing for like 10 minutes the very first day, and this practice went on for like couple of weeks, couple of months, and till today I practice. But the only difference that has come into my practice is now I don't have to jot down any lines. I just know what I have to speak right now. Say I'm sitting in front of the camera, I'm looking at the lens, I'm talking to you guys. Whatever is coming in my mind, the scenario, the visualization is so spontaneously coming that it's like a movie, a flashback, and all the things rolling in front of my eyes, and I'm just narrating these things. So this is what has changed in me. So initially, like a couple of weeks, couple of months, I like tried on, and then I could see the difference. There was a paradigm shift. My friends could make out the difference. They would come and tell, hey, nowadays you strike up a conversation in English so fluently, so flawlessly. We never knew that you had this drill inside you. You were so much eligible. And then I was also picked out by my teachers of the college. They made me perform at seminars at different college level, what do you say, inter-college competitions. Then college level festivals were there. So I was asked to perform because of this spoken English skill that I have nurtured. Yes, thankfully I bounced back. And today, after so many years, when I retrospect over these 2 years, I don't feel that those 2 years were the nightmarish phase for me. That was a learning curve for me, because I have seen myself falling into the pit, and then again rising out of it. So you fall, you stand, you rise. So that was a blessing for me in disguise. But yes, at that point of time I never felt like that. I felt that when is this time going to get over? Why me? I don't try to spoil anyone's image. When I don't do these things with anyone around me, then why are these things happening with me? So I used to keep asking myself, but now I know that was just enough to give me this pump, so that today I come out with this you know, this fluency of my own. And I've become so humble, because I know one thing, that what keeps me going is acquiring knowledge. Even today I listen to the people around me who speak flawless seamlessly in English, and I'm fond of those people. I follow a lot of English speakers, commentators from India, from other parts of the world, just to grab their knowledge, just to grab how they speak, how they carry out these drills so smoothly. So it's all in the learning phase, you know. The more you learn, that learning makes you humble. So with my spoken English skill, I will say it's a never ending journey for me. Till here I have reached, all because of the habit that I have inculcated in my childhood. And then again took to that habit when I grew up, and I understood that I need to refurbish my skill. But having refurbished my skill, I did not stop there, because I know the moment I'll stop, again I have to start from level A. I don't want to go to square one. I need to just move forward, and intending to move forward, all I have to do is keep myself upgraded all the time with all the knowledge of spoken English, and how to present yourself, how to be more confident in your skill, how to validate yourself all the time. Even before sitting for this video, I validated myself that I'm at my best today. I can speak with my audience without any inhibition, without any hesitation, because every day is a new day, every video is a new video. Anyway guys, if you could relate to my issue, if you could relate to my situation, and if my video was of any help to you, then please do subscribe my channel, share my videos as much as possible, and also do not forget to hit the like button. Take care, stay tuned, bye bye, and please ignore the noise that's coming from outside. Some speaker or some mic has been turned on, I don't know where. Anyway, bye bye.